Ahoy there, me hearties! You know, I've been giving it some thought. I'm aware that there be the good islands, and I sure as hell know there be the bad ones. But what is it what separates the two? What be the merits on which an island be judged? Oh, how I wish there were some form of easily understood vertical ranking system whereupon one could... Okay, fine. I be doing a tier list. I'll be splitting this apart by region for sake of simplicity. And outposts will be getting their own list later on. For now, though, let's take a wee look at the shores of plenty, shall we? Long held it as being my personal favourite region, but let's see how the individual islands truly fare. Starting off with Sailor's Bounty, a nice and discreet island at the cost of being a bit out of the way. It's just long enough from end to end for me to find it obnoxious, and the underground caves are interesting, but not quite enough for me to remember that there be more to this island than the shores, shallows, and the sandbars. I'll give it a high C. The treasury of sunken shores, and for that matter, all treasuries across the Sea of Thieves, are an easy D tier, even with the good loot within. I mean, they'd just be nearly identical caves overrun with fish people. I mean, the core will be slightly different from one to the next, but still, not enough to save it. Smuggler's Bay. Now that's that good possibly the most piratey feeling island in the entire Sea of Thieves. The island is big without being too overwhelming, with beautiful scenery all around. And if I hear one what says they don't love sailing in through that archway, I'll call him a liar. S tier. Salty Sands. Tiny and nondescript. Good for X marks the spot maps. And not much else. D tier. Picaroon Palms. It feels like a bigger island got shrunk down. And it ain't half pretty, which is just enough for it to beat the tiny and nondescript allegations. C tier. Shrine of the Coral Tomb. Water slide, yippee! It'd be a shame, it'd be a pain and a half to grab all of the loot, though. But it is pretty. C tier. Boulder Key, tiny and nondescript, it gets a D. Sandy Shallows, tiny and nondescript, and it's annoying to hit the shallows. D tier. Keel Hall Fort. I feel like I'm gonna get splinters in the eye just from looking at the place for too long. I like the bay, but only an idiot would try to park their ship in it. I wouldn't want to actually try defending anything here. C tier. The Spoils Aplenty Star. You know, I actually really like the sea posts in concept. I just wish there would be more to them than just the Hunter's Call. Anyway, Paul is a pretty good bird. Not like me own, the little bastard. P for Paul. Lone Cove. The graveyard is good, I like it. The island is big enough to be interesting, but small enough not to be obnoxious. A few places do feel a bit empty, but that's fine. A tier. Royal Crest Fortress. Seafort's my beloved. It's the most tidy, but that don't mean it has the least personality. tidiness is its own unique personality. It gets a B tier, and I'll tell you right now, ain't no sea fort getting below that. Hidden Spring Keep. Credit where it be due, it feels like a place ye could actually defend. Loses points for false advertising, though. That spring ain't hidden, I can see it right there. C tier. Lonely Isle. Lonely and nondescript. D tier. Rapier Key be so tiny and nondescript, it circles back around to being interesting again. This might be the only island I could realistically steal and get away with it. C tier with a chance to go up depending on how much one might pay to have it. Crescent Isle is exactly what it says it is. It'll leave ye saying things like, wow, that isle sure do be a crescent. C for crescent. Cannon Cove does not actually have any cannons. Aside from that, it feels weirdly like an island you'd see in the wilds rather than the shores of plenty. Just imagine it grey and hideous. C for cannonless. Rum Runner Isle. I ran rum here once. 10 out of 10. D tier. The North Star Seapost gets an S for shut the hell up. Peepaw Suds is trying to sleep. Twin Groves. Listen, I'm really trying here, but I can't think of anything other to say than tiny and nondescript. D tier. Wanderer's Refuge. Now, the island itself is fine, a bit annoying to get from end to end, but the real interesting part be the Warsmith's workshop. You know, I read her journals. I need me a freak like that. Aside from that, I put my head in a box of Wanderer's Secrets once, and it made me head go... B tier. Sailor's Knot Stronghold. This one would just be awful to try and defend. There'd be way too much cover for anyone what be laying siege to the place. D tier as a fortress. The Shrine of Ocean's Fortune. You know, I always forget exactly what it is I'm supposed to be doing in here. There's loads of moving parts. For better or for worse. C tier. Mermaid's Hideaway feels like the beach of a bigger island got cut off and made into its own thing. I don't hate it, quite the opposite actually. It just feels like it'd be missing something, you know? Like an inland with a bit of substance to it. B tier. Sea Dog's Rest. DeMarco is dead. Dead as hell. D for dead as hell. Imperial Crown Fortress is less tidy than Royal Crest, but it feels more lived in as a result. Or would it be less lived in since they're ghosts? No? Fine. B tier. You know, I always kind of forget that Laguna Whispers is even here. Even still, this is exactly the kind of thing I would like to see more of. Pirates turning islands into their own homes, away from the outposts, taking a chunk of this place and laying claim to it. Good solid A-tier island right here. And that be all for the shores of plenty. Truthfully, I surprised myself a bit with this ranking. Honestly expected more islands to be doing better. Well, what be your thoughts on me rankings? Be sure and share your own takes on these islands, or perhaps try and predict how I'll be ranking the next region on my list, the Ancient Isles. For now, though, wind in your sails, mateys, until we meet again.